So the second way of coming up is standing up in base. Probably one of the first things you learn in jiu-jitsu, unless you train at our club. So let's just say from here, Matthew's backed off a little bit, so I can't play guard from here, so I'm going to be doing my rocking chair sit-up. But in this scenario, when I kick up and come up, he decides to move in. Perfect. So now I'm thinking about how can I still come up. So from this position I can plant my right hand on the mat, plant my left foot on the mat, and now I can lift my hip and either come up to the knee or lift my hip and come up to the foot. Now this can also bring me into single legs and stuff. The difference in the rocking chair sit-up and the standing up in base is, in the rocking chair sit-up, I'm moving forward to come up. That makes sense. In the standing up in base, I'm moving backwards to come up. So we have two directions we can go in. We can either do the rocking chair sit-up and keep moving forward, but sometimes because when you're wrestling your opponent, they're not static. I mean, Matthew has got mobility. When he's here, he hasn't engaged and he's moving backwards, I start to come up and now he's moving forward. So now I want this ability to be able to plant my hand on the mat, and we're going for the standing up in base, obviously. Plant my hand on the mat, and now I come up to the knee or I come up to the foot. I just do it as a solo drill. So from our position, whatever leg is in front, I'm going to make a wall. We'll talk about that in a minute. And from a static position, if we're doing it, you're not sitting on your butt, you need to come to the hip. So if I put my right hand on the mat, the only part of my body on the mat is like my left foot, my right hip and my right hand, and I've made the wall. So now I lift my hip and I can come up to the knee, which is combat base, or I can come up to the foot. Let's talk about the wall I make with my left hand. We would use that in a few different scenarios. So Matthew's not engaging when I'm in the guard, so I'm doing my rocking chair sit-up, and there I've got to this position here, but now he moves in. I can put my hand on the mat, butt scoop back, and I'm into shin to shin. Now I don't need to go down the route of I still want to get to my feet. We can start to work our whole single leg X game, and now the guard's fine. Why? Because I was able to get my hips under his, I was able to make a connection, make my grips. So in other words, he wasn't running away from me. But to keep it in the context of what we're doing, we still want to be trying to get to our feet. From our position, when I decide to come up and he engages, if I don't get shin to shin, if I go to shin, more than likely I'm not doing standing up in base. It'd be very difficult now for me to lift my hip and move backwards. But if I was late and Matthew got past my wall, because for him to engage, he wants to step into that space, I can use my left hand and move my hip back and stop that with this wall. Right hand's on the mat, and now I can start going into my guard game. But let's just say I was late, then the route is to come up to your feet. So he's actually stepped in. So from that position, I've still made a connection, but I couldn't get shin to shin. Hand goes to the mat, and now I can come up to the knee and start to play my game, or come up to my leg and start working my takedowns from there. So your second method of coming up is standing up in base.